Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Popcorn Watchlist podcast. I am your host, Xavier. I am joined by the boys again today, and let's go around the round table. So, right in front of me is going to be Anthony. Say hi to the mic.
Hello, Mike.
Over to my left, if that really counts, if you're listening to this, go ahead, say hi, Danny.
Hello.
And we've got over here with the remnants of his Taco Bell, Zach.
Well, yeah, I have a Baja Blast.
It's like
what's up, guys?
It's like a sad, like what's left of a Baja Blast. It's just water now.
It's like mixed with water now. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're actually coming to you today with a special episode. It is the end of the year, and barring any other things that we might have missed, some stuff like Way of Water isn't technically out yet. I know Anthony and I haven't gotten a chance to see The Fabelmans. But we wanted to kind of go through a quick rundown of basically would be our top 5 movies of 2022. We got a chance to see quite a lot and share our thoughts with everybody listening and watching. So we really appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us and join in on the conversation. But, it was, I would say, guys, right? Kind of hard to narrow down a 5.
Yeah, we could easily come up with 10 if we wanted to.
Yeah, if we had the time, we could go on for at least, if we each had 10, we'd be here forever. I know Danny was, stuck, figuring out to round out his actual 5th, because there's too many were fighting for position, right?
Yep, I had a solid 4, but my 5th one, I just kept listening to what you guys were saying, and I was like, oh, that one, and then someone else would say something, I'm like, oh, that one, and I got lost.
That's us with that was me with TV shows. We had to, not tie in TV. We can do that in a separate episode, but filtering out between TV and film, TV had some pretty amazing bombshells of amazing work that came out this year. It's pretty out of hand. So that would be struggling even just to name top 10 because there were so many that were just so much fun. But today we're talking about movies. It's going to be pretty exciting.
Top 5.
So, without further ado, we're going to get right into it. I'll start with mine. And I will preface that these are in no particular order. Don't make me do that. That's way too hard. So I will start with basically my top 5, just listed out, is going to be Everything Everywhere All at Once. Nope. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. The Black Phone. And The Northman. You guys basically all know that The Northman was this resonated so well. That and I Want to Go to Iceland. That's basically
you want to turn into a wolf?
A bear. It's basically they got bear zerkers and then dance around in mud. Apparently to shoot that scene was super cold. It was really awful to shoot that one fire scene. But then you had the raid that was all sort of in that one shot. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I think Northman was on Peacock or something. No, it wasn't. I forgot. Danny knew where it was streaming, but
I believe it was on Peacock for a little bit.
Yeah. If not, I'm trying to weirdly enough, it's actually really hard to find that movie physical. I couldn't find the Blu-ray for it, but it's pretty dope. It's amazing. Also, watching Nope in theaters was a spectacle. I mean, that movie's all about spectacle. And you got the Akira slide in there. That was pretty badass. Nice. But yeah, I mean, it's becoming that staple where Jordan Peele is making stuff happen. Another, I'm pretty sure it might be on others' list, but Everything Everywhere All at Once was just something so out there, but also so resonant and creating a really awesome central theme. And it was a showcase of Michelle Yeoh just being amazing. She's really, I think, in the front running of possibly Best Actress kind of talk right now because it's just how good that was.
The Yeoh case.
The Yeoh cakes.
Yeoh case.
Yeoh case.
Yeah, not a showcase.
Yeah, the Yeoh case. Dang, that's my fault for taking that way too late.
I mean, your list is pretty, and probably with all of our lists, you'll see how there's so many different types of movies this year that really stand out. You have a horror movie in there. Which
I never watch. Yeah. I'll tell you that much.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and you had the popular stuff, the genre, pop culture picks. So obviously you had things you had like the Batman and a lot of the Marvel stuff that came out, but I think it was just these movies kind of like really resonated with me like really deeply and personally, like as like partially art, but also just really well put together and well made films. Great attention to detail, great acting, great writing, and just overall awesome storytelling. Like, I know Danny finally got around to watching it, but like Marcel the Shell with Shoes, like I just left feeling so good. Like it was just so.
I didn't expect it to be that good.
Yeah,
and it was like a sucker punch to the gut.
Yeah, like there were so many great emotional, but like happy and like sad, but also happy emotional beats that it was great, and it was cool to see A24 kick out something that wasn't just some weird horror film.
Yeah.
Those were mine. I'll pass the baton over to Danny because I know he's got his list is really fun, everybody. So feast your ears on this one.
Cool. So I think my list, none of them are the same on your list.
Nice. Variety.
So first one I'll say here is one that I really enjoyed a lot. We all saw it together, and it was Prey.
Yeah,
nice.
Good pick.
That was a fun one, especially watching it together. It was a fun one after we saw Predator.
You're welcome. No, I'm kidding.
Just pretty good action, horror, if you want to say horror, but just visually it was stunning, and I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, for it being like low key, like a low budget,
a streaming
release. It was really good.
Yeah, I could easily
totally should have came out in the theaters.
Yeah,
I would have gone to go watch it in theaters. So
some of those kills are awesome.
Yeah. Next one we have obviously the GOAT of the year, Top Gun Maverick.
Yes, sir.
Whew, the GOAT of the year.
Yes.
The GOAT of the year, you guys say.
In total, I think
maybe
between the four of us.
In US gross, yeah.
Oh, well, just between the four of us, we saw it like at least 11 times. Added up.
More,
dude.
No, because you got 7.
13.
Okay, you got 13, and then I saw it 4 times, and then Xavier saw it maybe 3 or 4.
So I saw it again on an airplane because I had to.
Nice.
So 21 times in total. That's
between the 4. That's
pretty
crazy.
Wild.
Blackjack. Sorry, I had to.
And we got to see it in so many different versions. So
I could have sworn that when we get to Zach's, it's not a spoiler alert, but his top 5 would have been and this is in order is Top Gun Maverick in 4DX.
That's your top 5?
That would be your top 5.
So I guess I don't have to go anymore.
Right? He's done.
Now just do a top 10.
Now it's top 10. All right. Yeah. All right. So Maverick. Yeah, man. That's Paramount really hit it big this year.
All right, and then the next one we got the Batman.
Nice.
Very nice.
So the Michael Giacchino score.
Mm-hmm. That guy had a year. This man had a year.
We had a top 5 Michael Giacchino.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Kind of like we.
Then we got finally like a nice solid detective Batman story, which was great.
He's also whooping ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good mix of that.
So, pretty solid. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch Batman. Can't wait for the sequel.
In like 3 years.
It's on HBO Max.
Yeah.
If it's still happening, of course, with all this.
It for sure will, but just this one was pretty solid, and I'm curious to see where the story goes.
No doubt.
Then my number 4, not in order, but 4th one, we got RRR.
Woo!
Yes, sir.
Which
International Tour de Force.
There's just nothing I could say about this movie.
That's definitely my top 10.
To give it justice, but I love this movie, and you need to see it. Ignore the subtitles. Just
no, don't ignore the subtitles. The dialogue is great.
You have to
what are you talking about?
Like, ignore that the movie has to. You have to see it in subtitles. Like, if you don't like watching movies with subtitles,
change the color.
Just watch it. Like, it's so good. We went in blind, not knowing what this movie was about, and
because
we just had a blast.
We saw the trailer,
and
then-
looked ridiculous.
and
We were like, this is out of hand.
We're like-
Oh, it's on Netflix.
Like, oh,
Netflix got
really?
the streaming rights, and man, that was something else. It was like, in theory, I thought it was like 3 movies in one. It kind of was, but that whole like prison break sequence was hilarious, but like great hilarious because it's just like they the bros just complimented each other so well.
And who
Beeman
doesn't
Raja,
want a
man.
best friend like that?
Yeah, man, that's the ultimate friendship. They just locked eyes from across the bridge. Do you know what we're doing? Oh, we know what we're doing. Let's save this little kid. It's so good.
And then just even like there was so much CGI, but it was like good.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like-
It's like it was good CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Definitely a fun time. Watch it with a group of friends. You'll definitely have a fun time.
I definitely do want to rewatch it. It's such a fun movie.
It's like
It's
3
long.
hours,
Yeah, it's
but
really
long.
it's still so good. Of
I wonder if
3
there's
hours.
an extended cut of it.
Oh my lord!
It's like twist. This is the extended cut.
All right, and then the last one that I'll put on this list, which I was kind of struggling with. I know some of the other ones that were supposed to be number 5, you guys have added to your list. So the one I ended up choosing was The Menu, which we recently saw.
Still gotta see that.
Yes,
Yeah.
chef.
Yes, chef. That's all I gotta say. But no, that one was a fun one too. A little dark, but definitely a fun time.
Ray Fiennes.
Ray Fiennes.
Ralph
Ralph Fiennes.
Yes, sir.
Wait, was it you that said Ralph Fiennes last time?
No, that
By
was
accident?
us.
No,
That was us.
That's how it's spelled.
Ralph Fiennes.
It's called Voldemort.
Yeah. So
It's not English. Clearly, it's not English.
that'll be my top 5.
All right,
So
that's a good list.
on to you, Anthony.
Oh boy. Okay. I'm actually gonna put it in order.
Ooh.
Ooh.
First one, the Wakanda Forever trailer.
Just the
No.
trailer.
Just the trailer.
No. That trailer was awesome.
Yeah.
The first one? No. So I'm gonna.
The
Should I
trailer.
do it 1 to 5 or 5 to 1?
5 to 1.
5 to 1.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
5 to 1. That's
Yeah.
better.
Okay, so I'll be a little contrarian, so we all don't have like the same. Same
What a
list.
disruptor.
I'll put number 5, the Dragon Ball Super movie.
Ooh, superhero?
Yeah, because I just Dragon Ball
Dragon Ball
Z
Super.
is my jam, and I really enjoy it. Every time they come out with one in the theaters, I have to go see it. I saw the Brawley movie when it came out a few years ago.
Dude,
and
the
it
Brawley movie was
fantastic.
hype in the
Yeah.
theater. The whole place was going wild.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Super was really cool. The story was about characters that have kind of been sidelined in the show, so I was really happy to see that, and yeah, it was fun. It was a fun time. Yeah, that art style was a little weird because it was like CGI, kind of looking like the fighting game, but yeah, it was still good.
What's that kind of animation called? It's
Cell
also-
shading?
Cell shading,
Yeah.
yes. So it's
Yeah,
that
it was kind of like that. All right, so number 4, Glass Onion.
See?
We just saw it.
Disruptors.
We just saw it, but it was great.
That was one I was tossing between my list.
It was up there, honestly, because, I'll let you go further.
I
It's
didn't.
so good.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured it would be good just because the same people working on it, but I had no idea what it was going to be about. I didn't, the cast was good, and I was like, we'll see how it is, and I really liked it. I think I liked the first one. I think I like Knives Out a little bit more still, but like, I could easily buy both of these movies and just like watch them whenever. They're both super fun.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Janelle Monáe.
I was very surprised.
I was surprised at Janelle Monáe, like, just really doing some double work there. She
Yeah, I
did
like
amazing
a
work.
lot of the actors in it. Like I like seeing them. Like Kate Hudson, you haven't seen in a while. She did a great job. You haven't seen Edward Norton has popped up here and there, but he hasn't been in that much stuff lately. But so it's nice to see him.
Do you remember when he was in randomly that very last section bit of Battle Angel Alita?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's like
He's like the
bad guy,
big bad. You're
the
like,
future
what?
bad guy, yeah.
Like,
so if they make another one,
There
I
he
guess
is.
He'll be in it more prominently. But yeah, Glass Onion, go watch it when it hits Netflix in like a week.
disruptors.
Number 3, Everything Ever All at Once.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that we talked about it for a while throughout this year. That movie is I don't even know how to describe it. That movie's so bonkers.
I don't
so
want to
weird.
describe it for people who
Yeah.
still haven't seen it
It's
because
just
I don't
so
want to
weird.
load it.
Go watch it. I mean, it's again, we've said it. It's not for everybody. I think it's really good. It's probably gonna get nominated for a lot of things, especially probably screenplay and story, just because I think it's an original story.
I think the Daniels are nominated for Golden Globe for Best Director.
Yeah, for sure.
'cause-
I mean, Golden Globes are not really what they used to be, but
Yeah,
a
true.
lot of the times the Oscars sort of emulate what the Golden Globes do, so we'll see. But just like Xavier was saying, Michelle Yeoh was awesome. She was so good in this movie because she lately has been doing a lot of supporting roles and she's been fantastic. But this was like, I feel like top to bottom, she was 100% the main character. Multiple characters, she had to play multiple versions of herself, and so I feel like this movie probably just like squeezed out like all of her
all her strengths,
like
right?
acting strengths, and she got to use her what do you call it, martial arts
Yeah,
strength,
her
too, so-
dancing turned to martial arts, and
it was everything all at once.
it was everything everywhere all at once.
like so it's a really good movie. But if you don't like it, I understand, but I think you should check it out just to see for yourself, because it's nobody makes movies like that.
Nah.
I'm surprised that movie was even made. But yeah,
Would you say
really
it's
good.
better than Multiverse of Madness?
It's a different movie, so I enjoyed both of them. Multiverse of Madness was almost like my number 5, so it's probably like my number 6 if I made a top 10. But it is a better multiverse movie.
I would
It's
agree.
a wilder multiverse
Yeah,
movie.
Yeah,
Probably more truer to the multiverse part of Multiverse.
Sure.
kind of
Yeah.
movie
Yeah.
By comparison, but yeah.
For sure.
You should definitely get around to watching it, Zach.
Number
I
2.
really should. I don't know how I haven't.
Number 2. It's the
Number 2.
Batman.
Oh, snap.
Oh.
There you go. Contrary in my
Number 2.
butt, you just said the same thing. I'm
Does-
kidding.
I mean,
No,
the
it's
Batman's
good.
awesome.
It was great. It's
Batman,
long, but great.
Yeah, also one of these 3-hour long epics, but at least to me, I didn't feel it. I watched that movie
Saw it a couple times.
3 or 4 times.
It's like we want that, right?
That was
like
this year I watched a couple movies in 4DX, and that was one of them. Got poked in the back. Poked in the back.
Little Misty with the ring.
Yeah, I mean, and,
That Gotham
The vibe-
Gotham street smell.
the vibration of the music on the chair throughout the whole entire movie, doom, 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 all on the chair. So
Ooh.
pretty amazing.
That car chase scene.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude.
That car. Like
Just the sound
yeah.
effect. The
Yeah.
sound effect of that car. Watching that in Dolby was ridiculous. But yeah, Batman, pretty awesome. I'll never hear Ave Maria the same again.
Thanks, Paul Dano.
Yeah, because of this movie. So
Freaking Paul Dano.
a really dark movie. So I can't believe they got away with the PG-13. So when all these people are like, "Oh, it should have been rated R. It could have been more gritty," it's like that's like the grittiest you can get without being rated R. It
And
was-
without then therefore not like alienating a lot of the audience.
yeah, it was pretty rough. Like definitely, kids should not be watching that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to see Batman.
You're like,
Don't watch this one. Do not watch that one.
Well,
All right, what's number one?
Number one. Moonfall.
that's it. We're done. The integrity of this podcast is thrown out the window.
Oh my god.
Dude, Moonfall is so bad.
There were some
No,
stinkers this year.
It's pretty obvious. Number one's Top Gun.
Oh,
Watched it 7 times. I think I watched it in every format.
I'm pretty sure you
probably.
did.
Yeah.
In every single format. And
You watched
Have you watched it at home?
No.
You're not seeing it in every format.
But sort of, because I've seen reaction videos of people watching.
That doesn't count.
No.
Sort of.
Look, Zach's out here saying it.
He's like, yeah, I did that too.
Because I've seen people react to it.
I mean, I
from
have
groups of
to,
people,
but
like the normies. Or
I was like,
something.
yeah, I cried that part too. Yeah.
I also wanted him to hold my hand.
Yeah, man. We've talked like crazy about Top Gun. It
I
came
don't
out.
think we've talked enough. About
It came out in May, and it's still out in theaters. Like this movie's ridiculous.
Paramount needs to re-release it every once in a while in 4DX. Like if it's
Just
ever
4DX.
just
Yeah.
in 4DX,
Yeah, just
I'll go.
4DX.
Like
Yeah,
I will
so would I.
drop the money
Yeah,
because
it's
just
a great experience.
the Black Star sequence alone. We've talked about it already. It's just like
Yeah,
you're just
Dark
climbing
Star is
up.
something else.
It was so damn cool.
Yeah, it's definitely.
And the music in that scene too, just even though it's off topic, like the music in that scene.
Hans Zimmer,
man.
Lauren Balfe, Lady
The
Gaga.
man won an Oscar.
What a trio.
It's too good, man. And
It's 3 good.
it's I don't even know what to say. Top
That's
Gun,
a solid list.
Top Gun, number 1 in my heart of the year. It's still making money. Go buy it on 4K.
It's also on Paramount Plus.
Get the 2-film 4K steelbook, whatever it's called.
If they have,
The
do they have a
enemy-
steelbook,
Yeah,
Yeah.
They
Nice.
they do.
I might get one.
Might? I think
I
you
might.
will.
Okay, I will. But will I get one or will I get 7 of them?
7
is one.
Why would you get 7 of them?
Just so I can.
For how many times? 1 for every day of the week. This
Yeah.
This is Monday's edition.
This is the edition I watch on Wednesday. It's Wednesday, my dude. Right in. With that, let's a perfect segue over to Zach.
Don't think, just do.
You know, I will do. So with my list here, the thing is that 4 of them have already been mentioned.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna
Bounce
fly
out of them.
kind of fly through them a little bit.
Fly through it a bit, but
Okay.
like,
Fly
give
through
us,
it, like,
give
I
us like your personal take. Like it could have been like, yeah, we talked about it, but like, what stuck out to
Yeah.
you the most with them? Go with that.
So I'm gonna go in a particular order. It'll be out of order, but it will be like, okay, my number 5 is this, my number 3 is this, etc. Right? So starting with number 5. Number 5, I would have to go with, I think, Prey on this one. That was on Danny's list, and
Good pick.
the one thing, a few things that kind of stood out was I liked that it was a simple story. It was simple but easy to follow. It wasn't too complicated, too convoluted. It was, even though it was simple, it was also good. And of course, like the kills were just creative and really like sick in both senses of the word, because they were pretty brutal.
That whole like the snow forest sequence was badass.
The Tomahawks.
Yes.
Or when he rips the guy's like spine and everything. I mean, that was
that's the thing. That's his thing, man. That's their thing. But
like seeing like modern CGI looked.
yeah, and the
Pretty insane.
the trappers, like the trappers, like, oh, we got him. They're like, no, you don't. He's got you.
But it was cool seeing like new tech versus like primitive weapons, and
Yeah.
then just like
Like you're
the
talking
way
about,
she goes about like trying to take him down.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
talking about like
all-
bows and arrows or like
Yeah.
hatchets or tomahawks or something versus like
An
heat
explosion.
guns and, like, but it was
Yeah.
that was a really great movie because they came out how many months ago?
In August.
It was
Came out in August on Hulu.
Oh, okay. I thought it came out earlier than that, like
Yeah,
May or
man.
something.
But like
Yeah.
we said earlier, like just a streaming movie that was so good.
It
It could have been in
deserved-
theaters.
They could have made money.
Because I don't know how much it ended up making off of streaming so far, but I'm sure it's
This
not
much.
that.
This much.
And I'm holding a big fat
Donut.
0. Big fat 0. All they got from that was maybe subscriptions, and who knows
Yeah.
if those people stuck around.
Or like free trials,
stick around.
and they didn't technically get it too.
That was actually
Commander, right?
no. That was Predator.
Was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
he said stick around in Predator.
All right, that was number 5. I'm gonna move on to my number 4 for the year, which was I was kind of like back and forth, but I think the Batman that was on Anthony's list, and also was that on your list too, Danny? I don't
Yeah.
know. If
Yeah.
Hell
both
yeah,
of
he
your
said the
lists.
Batman. They said the Batman.
Was it on yours?
It
was not on
like
mine.
theaters.
Wow.
That's,
Yeah, was it on yours?
I went artsy fartsy
Because
this
you
time.
didn't get poked in
Your-
the back.
I did not get poked in the back.
Wow.
Your movies, Xavier, were not the same ones as mine, so ours are different from each other.
Mine are different from everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah,
That was Anthony's
true,
mine.
yeah.
So
You have Dragon Ball in yours?
I don't have Dragon Ball.
oh. And then you have Nope.
All right, then
So the
Oh.
Batman, great detective Batman movie. A little bit more. I don't know if grounded is the right word, but a little bit more like true to the like detective comics, like that aspect of Batman. Not so much like a lot of big explosions here and there, like something that you've probably seen, like Christopher Nolan Batman movie. But this movie was. Like Anthony said, it's an almost 3-hour movie. You don't feel it if you're because it is an enjoyable movie. It is a great movie. I love the tone of it. It's very dark, very serious. It's like it has a steady tone from start to finish with a few spikes here and there when it comes to like action and stuff. Really solid movie. I think one of DC's best in a few years. Not to say that Wonder Woman wasn't great, or not to say that like Shazam was great too, but in a while, I think it's been one of their better movies.
Mm-hmm. Solid.
Agreed.
And then above that, number 3, Glass Onion.
Ooh, that's on 2.
Because I watched Knives Out. I think
the day before.
Literally the day before,
couldn't
man.
find it.
Yeah, he's like, I just spent money on it.
Yeah, I had to rent Knives Out because they took it off of Netflix. It was fine with $5, whatever it was, $6.
Worth it.
I really enjoyed that one. I was like, man, I can't wait for this one. And then this one for Glass Onion when it came out, a little bit different than like the structure wise than it is to Knives Out, but still a really cool and intricate, like well thought out murder mystery film. I think one of the best movies of that genre since Knives Out probably. That came out 3 years ago almost.
2 years?
Maybe.
Did it come out during like the height of the pandemic?
No, just before 2019.
It was 2019.
I remember watching it in a special screening with Anthony in 2019.
Release.
Yeah, it was
Before Netflix bought it.
Yeah, because they saw the word of mouth was so smart, so good.
Awards.
And then the second one comes out, and it's a critical success too.
Yeah.
Been in theaters for longer, but we already talked about that.
So that was my number 3. I'm gonna skip to number 1 because number two has not been mentioned among the 4 of us. So I'm gonna say it last.
Sonic 2.
Number
No.
2 is Sonic 2. No.
So my number 1, of
Obviously.
course, I've mentioned it 1,000 times. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Nice.
Dune?
No, it's clearly the first Top Gun.
Dune?
It's the first Top Gun.
Yeah,
Didn't
which
you
he's
give, like,
your
Top Gun,
favorite
like, a
year.
4?
I loved how he was just like,
Your
this was too
favorite.
cheesy. First Top Gun, he's like, this is too cheesy. It's too
Yeah, it
80s.
was.
And then
Ends
you
up
see
loving
Maverick.
It did not take your
And-
breath away.
He's like, he's blown away.
Dumbfounded.
Yeah, the first
taken
the
to the
first Top
stratosphere.
Gun didn't really capture
Satisfied.
me.
It didn't capture me.
Like, I don't know if it was. There wasn't much of a story. If I don't want to offend anyone, but there wasn't much of a story. Like the threat was kind of random at the end. I feel like
Who's the writer of the first film? Because that's who you're offending.
whatever his name is,
Whatever his name.
I don't care enough to want to know.
Oh.
Damn.
Ooh.
But the second
Oh my
one.
God.
On the flip side of that, Maverick had more of a story, a much better story, one that was critically acclaimed, but also great cinematography. A lot of we get actual jets in the movie, not flown by the actual actors, but they were backseaters. That was all. Yeah, spoilers. It was all backseaters.
Just cool how they filmed it and did it all though.
So
cool.
We need those 800 plus hours of flight.
I'll buy it.
800 hours of IMAX
Yeah,
flight
I want a super cut of all that raw footage.
Good
Yeah.
lord.
You want to see the actors like finish their training and then like vomit every time they do it.
Yeah.
Because I think one of the things also that I think I mentioned before too is which kind of throws you out of the movie for like a split second because you can kind of see it reflecting off of the visors, but you can see the cameras that were mounted into the cockpit. But that's something to worry about, man, unless you're really paying attention. But still, like the movie's, I think the best movie in a long time, in a really long time.
Nice.
And then
Agreed.
now
Very
number
nice.
2, which no one has mentioned, The Banshees of Inisherin.
Ooh.
Really like that one.
That would have been on my top 10 for sure.
Also very close to breaking my top 5. Dude, that movie is awesome. Please continue, sir. That's good. Good pick.
I think one of the most interesting things about this film is that when you watch the trailer, it just seems like a lighthearted comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Like from start to finish, an hour.
Like an awkward
40
comedy
minutes.
kind of thing?
Yeah, like, two
Yeah.
grown men kind of bickering at each other back and like that's what you would assume from the trailer, like just that. But then like just before halfway, it kind of takes a little dark twist and you're like, wow, this guy actually.
It's like a third of the way, actually.
Yeah.
Is it really a third of the way?
Yeah, it's like a third of the way. You're like, wow, this is real. Okay.
Because
Mavericks is real.
one of the characters played by Brendan Gleeson says that if the other character kept bothering him, he would do something.
Who's the other character played by?
Played by Colin Farrell.
Yeah, 2 Irish dudes.
I mean, he was in 2 movies on your list there.
Huh?
He was in the Batman.
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell, yeah. Oh, yeah, I just realized.
You were.
As the Penguin. So, Brendan Gleeson's character says to Colin Farrell's character that he would do something if he kept bothering him.
Oh yeah,
And-
he's straight up.
And you're like, as you know, the character and as an audience member, you're like, oh yeah, like how serious? Like he's just saying it like just to get him off his back, but no, he actually does what he promises he would, and that was
It all goes downhill from there.
Yeah,
Oof.
it's like it just.
Oh yeah.
The tone in terms of lightheartedness, it goes away from there.
But it also had some hilarious moments.
Oh no, the movie was
we were
hilarious.
dying of laughter.
It was hilarious. Like I think the thick Irish accents plus with a lot of the Irish slang just kind of it makes for a good laugh.
Yeah.
It does. It's really interesting. It's like it's very like it's the delivery by the actors is so well done that you're just taking this ridiculous situation. You're like, oh, that's actually still kind of funny given the circumstance. So it's pretty awesome.
And then it ends.
I mean, you also have Barry.
Oh yeah, Barry Keoghan.
Which is also in
Dude.
Batman.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. Wow.
that's right.
For like
They're everywhere.
10 seconds as
A little
quote
bit.
unquote the Joker.
Exactly.
Man, I didn't realize that.
It's almost like those 2 movies had good things in common, hence why they were so good.
Oh.
And then the ending, I thought the movie would end where they kind of make up, and it's like, all right, we'll just
Spoilers.
let things be, and we'll try to work things out, and be friendly towards each other. But no, it just kind of ends, and you don't really know what would have eventually happened. But it was a really nice movie. It's definitely worth number 2 on my list.
Nice.
It's a solid one.
Nice
It's a
movie.
It's a good one.
I wouldn't. Yeah, it's like it's really good. It's not. I don't know. Nice, but yeah, it's I love. Yeah,
It's a great movie.
yeah, definitely worth watching for sure.
Oh, I was gonna say nice little movie because it's one of those films that you don't really hear about, and they don't advertise a lot because it's a low budget film, but definitely should be on your radar if you're ever wondering what kind of movie you want to watch.
Yeah, I would give it a shot. Like watch In Bruges to kind of, if you really want, like if you don't want to go completely blind, but like you don't want to be spoiled, like just watch In Bruges and you'll kind of get a little bit of this like kind of tone for what the movie is like. So definitely. Done by the same writer director. Give it, for sure. Watch them.
And it's on HBO Max now. It just released recently, I think the other day, as we're recording this. So.
Oh, awesome!
The 13th, so it is on HBO Max.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Nice.
All right, so we I love that we all had some commonalities. Surprisingly, I didn't think I'd be the odd man out by having some different picks, but you know what? I'm cool with it. Anthony also, had an animated film in there too. It's very cool. I think it has to go without saying, or has to go paired together properly. That if we talked about some of our favorites, I think we can also kind of quickly sprinkle in a little bit of shiny turds, so to speak, of that came out of the year. Definitely, I think should we limit them to like the ones we actually watched? Like we don't want to go off of hearsay, so we don't want to go off of what
ones
we
that we
watched.
actually saw.
All right. So Danny, you've got a couple list of stinkers here, right?
Well, let's just start off with the obvious one.
We're all gonna say the same one, right?
Moonfall.
No, we're all gonna say Morbius.
Oh,
Morbius.
Morbius. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Whew.
It's Morbin time.
I think that's maybe one of the only bad movies I've seen this year.
I'm Dr. Michael Morbius.
and then you got the
with teleporting Tyrese Gibson.
that yes.
Teleporting Tyrese Gibson.
You also have that
Dancing
like
scene.
dance scene.
Matt Smith.
Smith
Matt
dancing.
Smith dancing to like
Shirtless.
this rap song shirtless.
We
It
talked.
was so bad.
He was practicing for Hot D. He's
We-
like, look at this Hot D. We're like, Hot V because I'm a vampire.
Oh my
But
Remember,
this is terrible.
if
that
Matt-
joke was as terrible as the movie.
basically, as like if you're gonna be there's a law of averages with Matt Smith. He's basically gonna kill it on a TV show or series, and he's gonna make some god awful movie, or movie that's just gonna be really bad, just really really bad. What's another one? Oh God. Okay, so we talked about like our list of Liam Neeson trying to do Taken stuff, but this one was like Taken by the FBI, and Blacklight was
Blacklights.
Some kind of like I don't even remember if there was actually a Blacklight.
There was no Blacklight.
We don't know why it's called Blacklight.
But there was a quote, like someone said something like, "Oh, you have to look at it in a different light or something like that," and you're like, "Oh my God."
The movie
it was just that one line.
Bad.
It was
really bad.
Yeah, it's one of his worst ones that he's done in the past couple years.
And on top of that, like some of like the little like quick cut like sequences like were like really bad shaky cam and
bad shaky cam, bad
like
editing.
some CW fight sequence.
Some CW-esque sequences. Damn. Yeah, the movie's bad. Please do not watch.
Go watch Memory. I didn't see that one, but I'm sure it was better.
Probably better.
It's probably better than Blacklight.
Did I?
It had Guy Pearce, so it has to be better.
Oh, that's right. That's
it was
the
better.
rule.
I did see that.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Very true.
Because it had Guy Pearce.
Another one that we just mentioned earlier was Moonfall.
Oh. You know, I've yet to see it.
You should.
Me and Anthony saw it.
I don't know if I saw it. I don't know what I saw.
I think he saw a fever dream.
That
of
was
Roland Emmerich-isms.
Dude, I love
disaster movies.
I love Independence Day, and this guy just makes disaster movies all the time.
He has great disaster
movies. I love 2012.
The Day After Tomorrow. 2012 is okay, but the disaster is awesome in 2012. I don't know.
It's just this.
I don't know what he was smoking with this movie.
The acting on this one, oh my God,
it was terrible. Like I feel sorry for what's his name, Patrick Wilson.
Yeah,
I feel sorry.
And Michael Pena, and Halle Berry.
Halle Berry, like I don't know why they said yes.
And that one dude from Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Samuel Tarly.
Yeah.
Why do I remember all this stuff? All I know is that there's a sequence of Michael Pena driving a Lexus.
So like the main three characters tried their hardest to like
save the movie.
Tried to save the movie. They couldn't, but you could at least tell they were trying. But everyone else, even Michael Pena, they gave Michael Pena like the worst material, and we all know he's a good actor. I don't know what happened. I actually don't know what's happening to him. I haven't seen him in that many movies, which is kind of weird.
I remember
he should be in more movies. But anyways, Moonfall is terrible.
What was the one with DiCaprio? That also, or was that last year?
That was last year.
It was last year.
Don't Look Up.
Don't Look Up. That was last year.
That was last year. I don't know why.
Yeah, but that's nowhere near as bad as Moonfall.
Yeah.
I got another one that's pretty bad. I think I'm the only one that saw it between the four of us, but it was a Netflix original. And it's called Last Seen Alive. And it's with...
Is it with Gerard Butler?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard...
It's trash.
Okay, because...
it's so bad.
Wild that people were saying, like, oh, this actually seems kind of cool. And this
like, the trailer looks good.
And it was, like, on Netflix, like, top on Netflix. Like, oh, really? And so that's why I don't trust, like...
The top on
Netflix.
I think the top on Netflix is just how many people are watching it, but doesn't mean that
they're enjoying it.
Or they finished it.
That they're not having a good time while they're watching it. So like, I have nothing else to do. Help! I finished off all the crime dramas.
I think the best bad movie has got to be Ambulance.
Ambulance.
The best bad movie.
Yeah, it's got to be the best one out of this list.
The best quality of bad movies.
I mean, there's drones.
No, but because
at least it looked nice.
Yeah.
No, because like there's a movie with good drone footage, and that was The Gray Man, and then there was a movie with good bad drone footage,
and it's this one,
which is Ambulance, which is wild because you have like overall a decent cast. Like you have award winners in Jake Gyllenhaal, Yahya Abdul-Mateen. Then he's in stuff. I have to watch it, and it's just
Asa Gonzalez.
It's just... Is
that how you pronounce it? I don't know.
It's just so... Like... It's just like... No one said no to Michael Bay. Like, they were just like, do everything. Like, have fun. Go nuts. And he's like, I will. Don't mind if I do. Like, there was the whole, like, lowrider, like, you know... remote machine gun sequence. It's like, what is this? It got real...
Kind of like Breaking Bad, but bad.
But but Michael Bay style, like really over the top.
Bad.
Breaking Bay, like it was nuts. And then again, like the whole plot at the very end, it just kind of flips on its head and just has this whole other like, we're former military men, we're gonna fight with guns now. Like it was nuts. Like that movie is just, it was something else. Like I got out of that movie theater thinking like, okay, I guess this is weird proof of concept, but whatever. And it's pretty nuts, pretty out of hand.
I'll add one more, I guess. Halloween Ends.
I heard bad things too.
End?
Yeah.
It ended, and you're like, why did we watch this? I think the movie could have just been the last 20 minutes, and it would have been better than what we got as a whole. So.
Yeah.
I did not see it.
Like, I think the way you
it's on Peacock.
The way you described it to me is like there were like ideas. They were like, oh, these are like the ideas of what it wants to do, and then it just dovetails to something else completely, and you're like, wait a minute, this isn't the movie I signed up for.
Yeah.
And so you got bamboozled.
You did get bamboozled.
So that's the worst kind of boozled.
One that came out very early this year. I think it was one that got delayed. It was probably supposed to come out late last year, and I think it just came out in January, February. Was the 355. I went and saw it. The movie where a bunch of good actresses and they're spies and they all like come together from different agencies. Yeah, it's not good at all. It's like it's another one of those. It's like, how do you have all these great actresses like say these lines, and then just the choreography and the editing in this movie is really bad. It makes it look like they probably didn't do any training for the movie, which I'm sure they did. But it makes it look like, oh, they don't know what they're doing, so we're going to cut it so you don't see all the action because they're not doing it right. So that's why when you hear people complain about editing in action movies, it's because of that. It makes it seem like the editor and probably the director, they're cutting away so you don't see the flaws of whatever the actors are doing with their choreography. So, yeah, that movie is just not, it wasn't well made. The writing wasn't too hot, the stories, whatever. Sebastian Stan is in it too. Jessica Chastain.
Is it Penelope Cruz?
Penelope Cruz.
Pretty stuff.
Dude, it is stuff. There's a lot of great actresses.
Wait, there's Lupita Nyong'o,
Lupita.
Diane Kruger, and
it's stacked. They're all great actresses.
who was the Chinese actress? It wasn't Ji Zhang. It was
No,
it was someone else. Don't say it. Don't. I'm kidding. But
no, I won't. I don't remember who it was, but yeah, like they're all great actresses, just not in this movie, and the movie didn't do anybody any favors.
it was Fan Bingbing. Yeah, that's I remember. Yeah, that's
Wouldn't have remembered it.
that's bad. That's no bueno.
So maybe some people would like it, but I definitely didn't like it.
Yeah, I remember seeing the trailers. I was like, oh no, guys, this don't look good. This looked kind of bad, and yeah, that's what happened. But I think but that's thankfully the good definitely outweighed the bad this year. Like it wasn't like there were some good ones, solid ones, okay, but like those were really really bad ones. But going back, and kind of settling in on like our picks for what are really truly like great movies that were this year, it made it to watching them be a lot of fun. And this year was an interesting mix of how we watch stuff, right? Like we had a lot of stuff. It was either in, we saw it in streaming, we saw it in the theaters, we saw it in various formats, and here's hoping that we can continue to see a wide variety of TV. Of stuff on TV or maybe just in different mediums, but hopefully they don't make little mistakes like they did like with Knives Out and Prey, not Knives Out, Glass Onion. And Prey to like actually give them more of a theater run, like have some faith in them. I'll even say a movie like Turning Red should have been in theaters.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It would have been great. There would have been a lot of people in there. So any other final thoughts, gentlemen? Any last little honorable mentions or something?
Well, I think it speaks to the quality of like how different different types of movies were that came out this year. That none of us had any Marvel movies on our list.
Yeah.
And also the quality of the Marvel movies this year. I mean, I would have had it Multiverse of Madness if we did a top 10. I really liked that one. At least to me, that was by far the better movie out of the 3 that came out this
It's
year?
like you would say it's like Multiverse, Wakanda Forever, and then Love and Thunder.
Yeah, Love and Thunder was too goofy for me.
Or would you actually go and say your ultimate number one
was like Werewolf by Night?
Yeah.
Or the Christmas special.
Or the Christmas special, which I like. They ended on a high note.
Yeah,
Christmas
but anyway.
special
was great.
But anyway, go back.
We didn't have any Marvel movies, but definitely would have liked to have some of them on there. But yeah, just all the other movies that we mentioned we just felt that they were better. So
another honorable mention that we mentioned last week's episode.
Yes, sir.
Violent Night.
Violent Night.
That's definitely in the top 10.
That's in a top 10 for
Christmas
sure.
classic. Hells to the yeah.
So once again, watch Violent Night.
That movie slays.
But overall, pretty good year for movies. At least for like a wide range of different genres. Like our list, we had some different movies that I don't think we were usually watch years ago.
Very true.
They had Sonic 2 this year, a video game movie that was very fun.
Yep, that would have been my top 10 also.
Yeah. So.
And here's hoping for more excitement and fun in 2023, right, guys?
Right.
Yeah, some good.
And
good trailers.
we all made this list, like we said before at the beginning, just before Way of Water. So we're all pretty sure, from what we're hearing, that Way of Water will most likely bump a movie down from our list.
It could be.
It could,
or maybe top 10.
Yeah, definitely top 10.
It's been like depending on where you see the reviews, it's like, oh, the visuals were great, but the story was a little bit, or the story was fantastic, and because you don't know if it's gonna be like a 9 out of 10, or if it's gonna be like a 6 out of 10, or maybe a 5 out of 10.
We are seeing it soon, so we'll find out.
Yep, and what's
at least
the
at
other
the
one?
time of recording.
Babylon is also coming out. That's another one. So
Damien Chazelle.
So pretty much after this year, we probably gonna reconvene in early January and talk about the whatever new ones might bump any others off our list. Yeah, revisions to our list,
or just have a good discussion on
Fablemans.
Avatar 2. So
yes, sir.
Yeah,
look
definitely.
Forward to that.
Definitely coming up soon, everybody. So please stay tuned. And once again, thank you so much for taking the time and to listen. Share with us your favorite top 5s. Reach out to us on Twitter and Instagram on Popcorn Watchlist. We want to see, compare, talk about some of the things, maybe something that we didn't mention that you thought was really great. We probably have talked about it throughout the year, or maybe something that, you agree or disagree with. We look forward to it. Check it out. We want to have the dialogue, have some fun, and keep the talk going. With that, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will catch you guys next time. Stay poppin'.
See ya.
Later.
Okay.